r/AskReddit. Kids born to teen moms, how different is your life compared to other kids? When friends would come over for the first time growing up, I'd get a lot of, "I didn't know you had an older sister." I don't. That's my mother. Also, since my mom and I are only 16 years apart, we ended up liking a lot of the same music, which made going to concerts a lot easier because we'd often wanna go to the same shows. So, I've definitely seen a lot more bands than friends. My parents got married when they found out my mom was pregnant at 16. She had me her senior year at 17, and both still managed to work their way through college with me in tow. It was honestly pretty annoying. They liked to party a lot with their friends, which got annoying quick, having a bunch of 30-somethings getting drunk and listening to loud music when I had to be up early. My mom enjoyed the attention of being mistaken for my sister, but it felt gross because she was the hot mom to all my guy friends growing up, and I never heard the end of it. My dad wasn't really interested in doing dad things until they had my sister in their mid-20s. Found out a year ago thanks to 23andMe that my dad's not my biological father. Apparently my mom slept around a lot in high school. Found my bio dad, which uncovered a huge conspiracy of lies and batshit insanity that honestly deserves its own post. Teenagers are ducking stupid. Edit. Since some people were asking, I went into further detail about the story below. My mom and I are really close. She had me at 14. Growing up, I noticed a lot of my friends didn't get along with their moms. I always thought she was really relatable. We go eat, go shopping, get coffee, gossip, just hang out. She worked a lot, sometimes multiple jobs at once, so I felt like I did less extracurricular than my friends. But I was pretty happy growing up. She is always concerned with money. I'm starting to notice that she's not very good at saving money or planning retirement and whatnot. I once asked a family friend, now that us kids are grown, how are my parents still living paycheck to paycheck? She explained that, in her opinion, my mom basically skipped learning how to take care of herself as an adult. Instead of learning how to effectively adult, she focused on taking care of her kids. I will forever be grateful for my mom and the hard work and sacrifices she endured to raise me and my siblings. My mother resented me and the freedom I had as a teen and young adult. I got to do and experience so many things she didn't get to by choice. On her side, I come from a long line of teen moms, but I didn't make that mistake. I was 27 when my daughter was born, and my daughter is almost 22 and no kids. Yet so the cycle is broken on our branch at least. I've noticed that I didn't have the same opportunities as other kids, because being a teen mom can lead you down a road of struggle and poverty if you don't have help from family. I've always wanted to play sports, but she could never afford the equipment needed at school to be a part of it. Mentally, I've had to mature faster at a young age because she was still a kid herself. It's unnerving to think teachers would tell me I seemed older than my age at 10 years old. My mom was 18. So my aunt and uncle are only 10 years older than me. My uncle is 6 years. So I got to do all kinda of rad stuff with my aunt and uncle, like skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding. They were and are more like a brother and sister. Real dad as opposed. My mom fell in love at 20 with a 40-year-old. They are still together 38 years later. Raised me like his own. He had 5 other kids. So I had all kinds of brothers and sisters, and tbh a better life than if my real dad stuck around. My teen mom, less money, less patience, dated more men, has been divorced several times. My so's teen mom, lots of money, lots of patience, dated 2 men, only divorced once. I think it is more the person than the age that makes a difference. Edit. The reason my mill had more money is because she had a good personality and was able to get good jobs. She was able to advance her career, was financially responsible with spending, worked very hard to get her college degree, and this was 40+ years ago, so the cost of living and wage were more comparable. The reason my mother didn't have more money, she is hard to get along with and struggled to get a good job. When she did get a good job, she was not financially responsible. The divorces caused her to lose most/all of her gained sums because she chose to walk away rather than split assets. My mother also got a college degree and still struggles with jobs because she argues so much. Lastly, none of the were strippers/escorts. They are very close in age. Both had little/no parental support, my mom having moved to the US away from the Philippines and my mother was kicked out. Thank you and good night. My mom is 15 years older than me and has banged 7 of my friends throughout my life for when I was still in high school. Other than that, I think I became mature than her when I was 12. I took care of my 3 siblings, did the cooking, cleaning, got them to school. Hell, I started working 40 hours/week at 14 so my siblings could have some sort of a normal childhood, get clothes, school supplies. I even took them go-karting on each of their birthdays. Those are some of my favorite memories. Overall, I think that my childhood sucked. I never got to be a kid. I don't think anyone should have kids before they are mature enough to handle one, and teen moms should have a lot, if oversight by CPS. Edit. Giving more context, this was in a small town in the 80s. My siblings and I are doing pretty well nowadays. I'm an early 2000s baby. My mom really liked emo music when I was little, so I considered myself emo at 6. I remember sitting in the backseat of my mom's 4Runner and listening to Mindless Self-Indulgence, MCR, Blink 182, American Football, Fall Out Boy, Taking Back Sunday, and all the late 90s early 2000s emo music. I got to watch a lot of 90s cartoons along with 2000s stuff because it was what my mom watched, and we always had fun sitting on the couch watching TV. I had a really good childhood. Me and my mom were always friends. She is great mom, and I always look up to her for being a badass young single mom who raised me alone. My sister was a teen when she had my oldest nephew. He is, by far, the most level-headed and mature out of his siblings. Sadly, I think it's largely because he had to grow up faster than they did, due to feeling an obligation to take care of his mom. Let's just say she wasn't well suited to being a teen mom. He's in his mid-20s now, and, while his younger siblings still struggle to find their footing in life, he's turned out to be an incredibly fine man. Married an awesome woman, is an ex-Marine and currently runs a very successful business. I couldn't be prouder. I was born to a teen mom, and a single one at that. I definitely had a lot more freedom and less supervision as a child, since both of her parents, my grandparents obviously, passed away soon after I was born, so there weren't many options for babysitters. Since she worked 2 jobs, I would often be on my own after school until about 8 or 9 at night, sometimes later. She definitely struggled to hold down jobs due to not having an education, and the overall grind would eventually get to her. At one point she was walking 11 miles a day to and from work because we didn't have a vehicle. Eventually, we lost our home, and we remained in and out of shelters until I was about 12. I learned a lot about the world in those days. At the time I hated it and was jealous of other kids having normal lives. Now that I'm older, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It gave me every bit of motivation I have. It gave me better social skills. Got to learn to make friends quick when you move frequently, and most importantly, it taught me to be humble and never view less fortunate people as beneath me. She was diagnosed with cancer when I was 13 and died when I was 15, which sucks, cause I grew up to be a good person and good father. Would love to have her around to see it.